Hello, it's Phil here for digitaldjtips.com, and today we have a mixer to look at. This is probably the first mixer we've reviewed on Digital DJ Tips in over a year, so they're pretty thin on the ground nowadays, DJ mixers that digital people would be interested in. If you are a DJ who's come from vinyl or from CDJs, you're probably going to take one look at this and think, hey, there's a 2-channel mixer, I remember those. If you're not, you might be thinking, why on earth do I need a mixer? So let's talk about why you might need a mixer and what's so special about this one. It's the DJ Tech X10 mixer, which is reasonably new on the market. I think I first saw this maybe 6 months ago at a show, and it's been available for certainly a few months now. So it's a 2-channel mixer. You can you can mix from one channel to another, and that's about it. There's no extra inputs apart from the microphone stage down here. And it's the kind of mixer that's been at the heart of DJ setups for years and years and years. It looks exactly the same as the kind of mixer that's been at the heart of the most basic DJ setups for years and years. However, it's got a few tricks up its sleeve which are decidedly digital and which will make those of you who are thinking about a more modular DJ setup where you can mix and match things certainly start to think that could be for me. So let's look at what it has got. The first thing is the sheer number of inputs around here on the back. You can not only plug in your record players or your CDJs, but there are then 2 spare line inputs, so you could have 2 CDJs and 2 record decks, or you could have 2 CDJs, an iPod and a spare connector for someone else's controller, or any combination of 4 line and up to 2 phono, i.e. record deck inputs that you like. So there's the inputs, that's the analog inputs, and this works as a proper analog mixer. You plug it into the mains, you plug that gear in there, no laptop, no computer, no software, it just works. So that's the first thing. And then, of course, you have your microphone there as well. And your microphone has got double EQ on it. It's also got a talk over, which is unusual. That just ducks the volume down of the music as you talk into the mic. Something that mobile DJs will think, hey, that's pretty hot. It's something that you very rarely see on DJ gear nowadays at all. So just one of the many flexible things that you're about to hear about that this mixer packs in. So that's the analog inputs. Now, how does it work with your digital gear? The first thing to point out is that this is not a MIDI mixer. You can't wiggle that and see it move on your screen. This is a sound card. It's a DJ sound card built into a normal mixer. So what you do is, on the back here, you plug in your computer into one of the USB inputs, and there's a couple more USBs which we'll talk about in a minute, and the computer then recognises this unit as a sound card. Then you go into your DJ software. It comes with Decadence, which is a good program, not a leader but a good one. Then you go into your DJ software, and I actually tested it with Traktor because I'm familiar with Traktor, and you tell it that you want to use this sound card. You tell Traktor that you want to use it in external mode, and all of a sudden these two, when you switch the switch here to PC, are controlling your 2 of your decks in Traktor. And then you have EQs and volume controls and crossfader, just like on an old-fashioned mixer, working with Traktor. It doesn't move the controls on the screen, but it works in the same way. And then, of course, you would then set Traktor to just hide the internal mixer. You're in external mode. It's made to work like that. So now you've got 2 digital inputs. You don't need a sound card because the sound card's built into here, and you've got 2 record decks and or 2 CDJs or whatever else, or iPods, whatever, and a microphone. Pretty hot. But it gets better, because on the back you can plug in TRS, or the big thick, like the equivalent to a headphone cable, outputs, so 2 mono outputs there, which go into a PA system professionally. They're balanced outputs. There's no XLRs. This is an XLR. That's actually for the microphone. Again, professional. There's no XLRs, which you sometimes get for outputs to plug into a PA system, mainly because there's no room for them. But these are good. These will do the job. And you also get a normal RCA out, the red and white ones. But you also get a booth out. Now this is a booth. It's just a control along with your master, which allows you to have a speaker in the DJ booth with you, as well as sending a output to the main PA system. Now that's useful anyway. It's also very unusual on a mixer of this this type, but also it's good for if you're recording. If you wanted to record your set, you could plug your recorder, whatever you wanted to record on, into there. Of course, you could record on software, but then you're not going to be recording all the other inputs. You plug your recording device into the booth output, and then you use that there to adjust the level, get the level nice, and then whatever goes on with the rest of the mixer doesn't matter, because that level will stay set for the recording while the other one heads off to your PA system. So again, very flexible outputs there. So the front of the mixer here is also highly specified. Two big sets of features there. The first one is these 4 knobs to control the crossfader action. It's a very scratch friendly, high quality crossfader. All the faders are high quality. You can actually replace it, although you can't see 2 screws there. You can replace it. You unscrew it here and pull these off, and then the whole thing lifts off because the holes are big enough for the knobs to go through, so you don't have to take every knob off. So it's a bit of a strange way of replacing the crossfader, but you can do it. It's a very scratch friendly crossfader, and you can set the curve and other features for the crossfader here. But also it's got crossfader start and fader start actually. So you can make your CDJs, and it's actually made to work with the DJ Tech U Solo FX multimedia players, which are about the same size, and they're like a jog wheel. You can also plug USBs into them. They've got a readout, but they also will control DJ software. They're made to work with. It's made to work with those, but we'll get onto that in a second. So you can have auto start. So basically, when you move your fader up or you move your crossfader across, whichever device is set will start on its own without you having to press start. Mobile DJs love this stuff, but you can also use it for stutter effects. Bow, 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 and you're in. So that's good, but it's also got a line reverse. Now I've never seen this on a mixer before, but what that does is make these, instead of being off and then louder and louder and louder, they're off there and they get louder and louder and louder down to there. Good for scratching, I would imagine. It's just a good feature, and it's one of the many versatile features thrown into here. You're never going to use it all, but as I say in the full review, and the URL is at the end, it's like a Swiss Army knife of mixers. It really is. So there's all that stuff. Now, I promise you I'll talk about the USBs on the back. The USBs here, this basically, as well as acting like a sound card, digital mixer, analog mixer, microphone stage, phono stage, because of course you can plug your record decks in, straight through here, out the back there, and record it straight into your computer or whatever. There's another use. As well as all those things, it's a powered USB hub. So you can plug one lead to your computer, and then you can plug 2 extra USB devices in there. And the way I tested it was with a Traktor Control X1. Just plug that into there. Then these 2 channels on the X1 were controlling my 2 decks in Traktor, whereas this was giving me the ability to mix them. But you could also use it with stuff like the Denon, which we've also reviewed. In fact, we reviewed these 2 together, so look on the blog for that quite recently. These don't have sound cards in, but that's all right, because the mixer has a sound card in it. So, as you can see, it is an extremely versatile little thing, and just to have one of these knocking around, it's really useful for so many purposes. You could use it to record radio shows on the internet. You could have your mates around, all with their different equipment in. It even works with DVS. Doesn't work with Traktor Scratch or Serato Scratch, because they're kind of closed proprietary systems, and you need their sound cards. You need the Rain stuff for Serato, and you need a Traktor Audio 6 or Audio 10 for Traktor DVS. However, it does work with Mixed Vibes, Virtual DJ and Decadence DVS, so you can use it for vinyl control. But you could use it for, if you get to a venue and that you just don't like the mixer, plug your stuff through this. You could use it for recording radio shows, as I say. You could use it just as a standard mixer if you're at a party and you want to get a couple of iPods and a CD player, even plug someone's computer in so they can do a bit. You know, you could have 4 different inputs and your software all running through one little mixer, just a tiny switch at the top to switch between them. The only thing that I didn't like about this, I didn't like the knobs. It's not a big thing because there are knobs that are no better than this on far more expensive gear, but they're just plasticky. They're not rubberized. They're not that nice to touch. However, they're not going to break. But that's a small thing, and really I could find very, very little else not to like about this. It is, as I say, the Swiss Army knife of DJ mixers. It's dragged into the 21st century with the built-in sound card, which sounds great, by the way. It's not highly specified. It's not 24-bit, but it's as good as CD quality sound card. It sounds fine to me. It's going to not let you down on anything but the very best PA systems, and then you're going to need the very best audio files to start hearing a difference. So no problem there. And if you are the kind of DJ who ever wants to set anything slightly out of the ordinary, slightly different from your normal DJ setup up for whatever reason, then at some point you're going to think, if only I could plug that into that, then we'd be all right. That's where this is going to come into its own for you. Years ago, everyone had a 2-channel mixer knocking around in the bottom of their DJ bag or in their cupboard, ready to pull out for such a purpose. And to be quite frank, I think the DJ Tech X10 has brought the whole thing back round again and is a thoroughly modern mixer for both digital and analog DJs. The best bit about it, the price. Check it out on the website at the review, URL at the end. But this is extremely keenly priced. And in these days of some highly marketed, sometimes feeling a bit overpriced DJ gear that doesn't really do very much at the end of the day, this is kind of the opposite. It's cheap. I haven't seen any marketing really for it. DJ Tech have just got some DJ input, found some real problems that DJs have, addressed them, and then crept out this little device. And it's one of the most impressive little bits of kit I've seen for quite a while. So there you go, DJ Tech X10. Thanks for watching, and read the full review over on the website. Here comes the URL. Cheers.